Hello all, welcome to my fragrance journey. My name is Ron, and today I have 4 Gardenia forward fragrances to share with you. So let us go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so first up we have really the catalyst for this entire video. This is Tahitian Gardenia by Pacifica. Now this is a fragrance I have loved for many years. I was thinking about it and I've probably been wearing it 10 years. It's a fragrance that I love for warmer weather, spring, summer, that sort of thing. And clearly one I took for granted a little bit because it's gone, at least seemingly so. I'll touch on that more in a second. But as far as I can tell, the actual perfume is gone. I thought the body spray was too. That has come back into stock recently, so I'm hoping that maybe there's just some sort of production issue or something and the perfume will come back. But for right now, all that's available is the body spray. So I did snatch this up very recently. I just got this actually today. And I wanted to make this little video to share not only this fragrance, but the other fragrances I've kind of stumbled upon or explored as I've searched for something that might fill the Tahitian gardenia shaped hole in my heart. So, what does this fragrance smell like, though, since I'm making such a hubbub about it? Well, surprising, gardenia. I've often said that it smells very much like an actual gardenia bush, the plant, and it really does to me. Now, I will acknowledge, and I had to think about this too, when was the last time I actually smelled a gardenia in, my everyday life? A natural, actual plant, bush. I can't tell you. It's been a long time. So we might have to take a bit of salt with my take on natural gardenia. But to me, as far as I can remember, this smells like it. It smells actually like a very sunshiny gardenia, I realized. It smells like you're truly walking past a big gorgeous bush of them, and it's a nice hot sunny day, and that kind of heat is carrying the scent of them through the air. That's what this fragrance is to me. It does have some other notes. There's jasmine, sweet orange, tea leaf. For this fragrance, and honestly for the others pretty much in this video too, I find that a lot of the extra notes in these fragrances kind of are very much in the background. They're there to help prop up the gardenia maybe, but they don't do a lot of heavy lifting on their own, or at least not noticeably. And so that's the case with this one. It's really about the gardenia first and foremost, and that's fine because I really enjoy that note and I enjoy the way they do that note. It's sweet, but in a very floral way. Not gourmand situation. It's just a sweet floral goodness. It just smells, again, warm, sunshiny, very fresh and natural, with a bit of a headiness to it. That also might be a touch of that jasmine. It's just really pretty. And so even though this isn't in the format that I would prefer, and I really do just need to bite the bullet soon and buy a full size because they are going up, but all that to say, I'm still happy to have it in any format at all, and it's a really good one if you ever do stumble upon it. This is, again, Tahitian Gardenia by Pacifica. So up next we have Island Gardenia by Jovan. This was the first fragrance that I got to kind of fill that Tahitian Gardenia void. Now, I say that and want to add that with none of these fragrances did I actually intend or imagine that they would truly smell like, Tahitian Gardenia. I'm not saying I was trying to buy dupes, but I just wanted something that would bring me as much joy, if not more, and be something that I can just use in similar times of the year, similar applications. I find that Tahitian Gardenia is a very easy reach fragrance. It's not just floral, but it's very fresh and clean in a non-soapy, aldehydic way. It's just a clean floral. It's, again, sunshiny, gorgeous. And so it works really well for pretty much any time I would want to use it, even in the cooler months too. And so that's kind of what I'm ultimately looking for in these other fragrances. And so with Island Gardenia, it just doesn't land quite the same. It is gardenia. That's the only note listed on Fragrantica. I don't get anything else really except for The gardenia in this is a perfumey gardenia, which is generally a fine thing. I like perfumey fragrances, but there's in that, or in this, additionally, a very synthetic quality. Almost plasticky, but not in an appealing way, because plasticky can be good sometimes to me. But in this case, it's just very synthetic, and it's in a way that, thinking of it, like a movie, right? It's a situation where it takes me out of the movie. Sometimes that'll happen in a film. You're into it, you're enjoying the fantasy, and you've kind of forgotten that you're in a theater in your living room, right? And suddenly something happens and the spell's broken. That's what happens with the synthetic note in this. I'm liking it, it's great, and then whenever I get that in a whiff, it just takes me out, and I think, oh yeah, not quite right. So I do like this fragrance, but I don't think we're going to have an everlasting love, to quote a Gibb brother there. It's fine. It's fine. So this is Island Gardenia by Jovan. So now I have Gardenia from Valerie's Uncommon Scents. This is a perfume oil. She sells her fragrance oils in different formats. There's perfume sprays, these roller balls, different sizes, room sprays, all sorts of things. But yeah, this is the 10 ml roller ball for the oil, and I really like this one. It's very simple. So the gardenia note in this smells very much like the gardenia that is in Island Gardenia, but that synthetic quality is really dialed back. It's still there a little bit, but it's dialed back, and even the perfumey quality is a little bit lessened. But the overall gardenia note is still very similar. So it really is just basically a better version of what I have in Island Gardenia. I would repurchase this one over that, not in small part also by the price. This is typically $5 or less depending on what the current pricing is for Valerie's site. Granted, Island Gardenia wasn't very expensive either. I don't think it was maybe more than $10. So I mean, it's not that big of a difference, and ultimately is more fragrance. But yeah, I just actually enjoy this one more, so I would happily repurchase this one, whereas I wouldn't with the other. That said, like the Island Gardenia though, it still isn't quite meeting what I was looking for, to be kind of my main gardenia fragrance. So it's good, but still not quite my tip top. But yeah, that is Gardenia by Valerie's Uncommon Scents. So now we come to the final fragrance, and this is Gardenia by Elizabeth Taylor. Now, in my little wine fest, really, is what it was. I was just whining a lot. You lovely people stepped in and talked up this fragrance. And this was one that I'd had on my list, and I just hadn't prioritized it. I think actually I was feeling a little crestfallen, a bit down, because I had lost my Pacifica. The Jovan wasn't hitting the way I wanted it to hit, and so you all again stepped in and said, "Well, try the Gardenia by Elizabeth Taylor." Very glad that I did. I thank you so much, because this is definitely bringing me that same level of happiness when I use it. Or just about. I mean, I still love my Pacifica, but this is right under it. So this is a very similar gardenia note to the Pacifica. It's got a little hint of that sunshine, a little bit less though. I'd say where maybe the Pacifica is directly in the sunlight, this is in the shade. And this also has a little bit of that sweetness. Again, a floral sweetness, not anything that feels added, like vanillas or anything like that. Actually, the notes are green leaves, lily of the valley, gardenia, of course, peony, orchid, musk, and carnation. So nothing, gourmand. As far as the others, there's nothing, again, very distinct in this beyond the gardenia, but I feel that the others are adding to also the perfumey quality that's in this one as well. So it's kind of taking things that I like from all of these. We've got the gardenia note that I enjoy, that's very, similar to the Tahitian Gardenia. And then we've got that perfumey quality that I also enjoy, but none of that syntheticness in the others, nothing that's off. It's just a really beautiful fragrance. And so this is one that if I, can't ever get my actual perfume, or, whatever happens with restock, if at all, I'm at least glad to have this one. Hopefully this stays around too, but I think it will because it's been around for a minute, and it's just so pretty. So yeah, this is Gardenia by Elizabeth Taylor. So there we are, my 4 current Gardenia fragrances. I do have some others that I want to try, and I would ask your help down below, both just, in general, anything that you want to recommend that's a Gardenia forward fragrance. Heck yeah, lay it on me. But also, for those of you that have tried Crystal Noir by Versace, whether it be the Eau de Toilette, the Parfum, or both, I would love to know how you find it as a Gardenia forward fragrance. I've heard conflicting reports for both versions, so I'm curious what you would feel and would let me know, because you guys clearly were right on the money with the Elizabeth Taylor, and so I'd be curious to see what everyone thinks about Crystal Noir. Now, not Gardenia related. I can stop saying that word because, oh my goodness, I hope nobody was playing a drinking game with that. You're probably in the ER. But aside from that, I have hit over 100 followers. So that's something that if you've watched any of my videos and made it to the end, you'll hear me asking, not quite begging, but asking folks to subscribe if they like to do so, because I wanted to hit the 100 subscribers. Does that actually do anything for me monetarily? No, it does not. And I'm not trying for that. I don't care. Does it do anything for me as far as YouTube in general? Is it going to make me, viral or something? No, that's not the case. But I just wanted to hit 100. That's just a nice round number. It's a big number for somebody who's just in their bedroom making these random fragrance videos. And so I wanted to hit it, and I'm so happy that I have. And I want to thank so many of you for that. Not just all of you who watch my videos, but also a lot of creators who have talked about me, mentioned me at all. Like, I really appreciate that, because who am I? I'm Chop Liver. Especially because I watch so many of your videos and I think you're all fantastic. So, with that in mind, I'm going to list not only the folks who have mentioned me a time or two, but also just the folks that I enjoy and who inspired me to start doing this to begin with. I just one day created an Instagram because I was more into perfume than I even had been ever before in my life, and I just wanted an outlet to talk about it. And then through doing that and enjoying that, I thought, I'd like to even do that on YouTube and in a video format. And so I watched some videos that kind of gave me the courage to do so from some really lovely creators. And so yeah, I'm just going to drop them all below. So if you haven't checked out any of these creators, please do. They're all really, really lovely, knowledgeable people who just genuinely enjoy fragrance, and I think they're very, very cool. So anyway, enough waffling, enough rambling. Yeah, this was the Gardenia video. So I always, as always, thank you all for joining me on my fragrance journey. I hope you're all having a great rest of your day. I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.